Hello class, in this video I'm going to talk about journal writing as a personal development activities. So why I choose this topic? Actually, I choose this topic because I practice this every single day and I found it really useful. And later that I know that this is really one of the PD activity that for me it's really crucial. Then that's why I choose this one because I've learned it and I practice it and I feel the benefit of it. That's why I want to talk about this one with you guys. So let's just start. Theoretical background. What is journal writing? A reflective writing activity, of course, focus on an experiences, thoughts, feelings, and learning. You normally use to support personal growth. The key idea is writing helps thinking by Schoen 1983 and Moon 2006. So what is the key principle of journal writing? First, it's a reflection on real experiences, of course, regular and ongoing practice because you cannot stop it. It's like something you develop, something that you do every single day. It's become a habit for you. Personal meaning making, it's what does it say? It's on yourself because your own point of view. It cannot be someone else's something. It's it's different from every single human being. When you write a journal, when I'm write journal, of course it will be different because we have different experiences. Now, self direct learning, I really agree with this because when we write something, we learn about ourselves whether we want it or not, and linking experience to the future action. Of course, when you write something, maybe just a note or something, that's the things that it kind of like maybe to-do list, maybe something that you want to achieve in the next a few years, like goals, something like that. Journal writing in personal development literature, commonly used in teachers' educations, supports reflective practice, professional awareness, lifelong learning, and turns experience into learning. Second one is journal writing in practitioner perspective. There are a lot of practitioners out there that I really admire, I really look up to, the one that inspired me. But in here I mentioned from the Stephen R. Covey, the one who really famous in his book, Seven Effective Habits. He said that like it's really journal writing really clarify values and goals, reflect on daily actions and decisions, develop self-awareness, support continuous personal growth. And one of his famous quote is, keeping a personal journal is a powerful way to become more self-aware and reflective. Now, the transition to my experience, both theory and practice suggest that reflections leads to growth and writing deepens learning. Totally agree. These ideas strongly connect with my own experience. So let's just move on. Now, in my personal experience, I use journal in everywhere. Like when journal writing become part of my part of my life. Here's I keep a photo. The journals that I keep along since 2018, 2013. I didn't really start journal writing with a clear plan. Like I'm starting this journal because I'm aware of how it will affect me. No, I didn't. It started like naturally and gradually because as a students, like a normal students, we always keep write a note, like everyone, I guess, I suppose. When you are a student, you keep some notes. I mean, that's how I started, and over time it's become writing become more than note taking. And later then I know, I started in 2013. It's in high school, from just notes, normal notebook. And I remember one of my teachers said, what do you want to do after you graduate, which university you want to go to, and what will you do, that kind of question. And then make me write something in my journal. I still have it. I will show you. So this is one of my first note that I wrote. It's just like a high school student's writing of, some dreams and wishes. At that time, I didn't call it journaling, of course. Normal diary activity, right? Since 2013. And it's come to realize, I come to realize when after university, while I'm keep just noting things from school, of course. And the first time that it's come to realization is when I got my first dream, and then I just like open my note and I see the things that I wrote. After that happened, I just become a student of this activity, this personal development. I just keep continue reading, and then become a serious about self development. I I realized that I start reading more, and then I was just like I want to know more about this. What is this in this? Writing something. And when I continue, I learn from personal development coach, and I just read more books. It's become my habit now that I keep continue doing it since 2018. I complete several journals that I show you the photo of, and it's really fascinating. Of course, you will, skip kind of like 1 or 2 days or even a week, but because this has become a part of your life, you kind of like continue doing it. Now let's continue to journaling as a teacher. As a teacher, of course, I use journal writing to, plan the lessons, keep students' notes, write meeting reflections, of course, tracking ideas and improvement. You know, keeping notes is really important, especially when you have a lot of classes. Sometimes you forgot what did you do, maybe yesterday or maybe 2 hours ago. It's really fascinating when it's really handy when you have a note in front of you and just you have everything laid out in front of you. That's really really helpful. And of course writing helps because we do forget, right? Teaching is a fast pace, and when everything come, like students come and then doing something, of course we will forget things. And keeping a journal is really, I think, put everything together. So that's one way that's really helped me. So reflections through looking back. Of course, when you keep everything on notes, you can just like look back and then just reading it. Sometimes I reread my old journals. It's really, I'm really happy when I do that, because sometimes I notice, like, you do growth, you do improve yourself, and you are changing, you change. But when I never, I don't know, and we sometimes when we do our life like day to day, we didn't notice, we cannot notice that we make some difference. But when you look back, especially when you have a proof in front of you, what you had faced 2 years ago, and you just like read that, oh my gosh, this is the things that I faced before, and this is the way that I think before. You kind of like look that, and it's like as a reflections toward yourself. Then for me, I see it as a really, I'm learning, and I do feel the emotion before. Now I'm looking back, I think I really grow more. And of course it's improved my emotional development. I think it's improved everything. And it reminds me that I always learning and I'm evolving, because this is the activity that, because as a human, we always improve, we always move, everything is changing. And when you kind of have this kind of activity or a habit, you really can see yourself and look back as a proof. Oh, I am like this a few years ago and now I'm like this. It's kind of like a measurement for yourself. And the next thing is gratitude, the most important part. In this kind of like journaling activity, what I've learned is one constant element in my journal is gratitude, because I regularly write, what I'm thankful for. That's the number one things that I wrote in my journal. To as I keep telling you, it's as a reminder to ourselves. You know, it helps me grounded because when we live our life continuously, we're so busy doing things, we forgot what we have achieved, we forgot what we have around us, and we just focus on that goals in our mind, like in the future tense. But we forgot what we already have, we forgot to appreciate that. And that's really important when you set aside time to just write the things that you you're grateful for. And i I don't know, it keep me stay grounded, and I appreciate what I've already have. And it's I become more content, I feel, as a human being. And maybe it keeps me more calm also, and understand more of my own feelings, my own awareness, where is my thinking happen. I think it's continue to the next point, which is emotional regulation through writing, because I do see a lot of video that keep saying writing, writing make your mind thinking, and put everything in your mind into writing. It's helping you to regulate your emotion and keep yourself healthy. And when it's also, I always write my problems, my concerns, my feelings in my journals, and I feel relief sometimes, because when we write, when we have a lot of things in our mind, sometimes we it's just so chaotic up here, right? We When you write down, it's kind of like you talking to yourself, and you kind of like understand yourself better. There's a one quote that I really like, I guess. It says journaling is like whispering to oneself and listening at the same time. And I think it's really true. When you have things in your mind, right? There are a lot of things in your mind. You're thinking a lot of things. You're thinking a lot of problem. And when you just take a pen and write in the paper, it's just like, oh my gosh, this is the things that happen in my head. Sometimes you just couldn't believe it. It's like you were the other person, but you were the one who think of that. So it's gonna have a weird things going on with you and yourself. That's why I think it's create more awareness. So in the conclusion, I think journal writing support my personal growth, definitely, emotional awareness, professional development, and it's shaped how I think, how I teach, how I reflect. I cannot emphasize this more. I mean, keep it, keep it. I mean, just try it. Write it down, write in your thought, because it's really helps. Sometimes I wrote the things that not everything about goals, but that's one thing that I always write. And when you see that, when you write something and it's become a reality, I mean, a lot of things that I wrote become a reality. It's just like, oh my gosh, yes, it is. It's a proof to yourself. I mean, no one read my journal except me, so I think that's really help. And it helps you become more content and more uh, aware of yourself. And I think the professor always said also that maybe this is a daily day-to-day activity that you cannot see the result in in one moment or two moments. You cannot see it, but along the time when you keep doing it, you will feel the difference. I mean, I feel a lot of difference while I'm doing it. That's why this is become of myself, become me, become my habit. And that's why I think I really love keeping it and share it, and I hope it useful. Thank you for listening. And here is the reference. Thank you so much.